a long way in developmental neuroimaging. We've gone from, in the late 80s, early 90s, counting lesions and measuring the width of ventricles on CT scans. And Terry did some of that too. But she was really one of the first people to start integrating computer programming technology to do what we started calling quantitative neuroimaging. And so this was from her paper in 1990. And you can see the, what am I doing? Sorry. So let me just keep talking. This is I keep pushing. So during that period of time, I want to point out that when I started in Terry's lab as a research assistant in 1989, we didn't have mice yet. So we used an arrow key to move our way around the brain images on the computer screen. And I want to point out in the top right there, those are light boxes that we hung above our computers so that we could look really carefully at what we were trying to define. And on the bottom right there, we have this huge system of 5-inch floppies. And each subject had about 20 floppies with the subject number on it. We rubber banded them and then organized them in numeric order in all of those bins. And then after that was the smaller floppies. So we've come a long way. So the work that I think puts Terry right in the very sort of heart of the birth of this, idea of using neuroimaging to study brain development. I think early on also there wasn't a lot of impetus to spend money to study kids who were developing typically, right? They're not sick. Why should your institutes give you money? So what Terry and others at the same time started doing is saying, well, they're giving us money to study controls for the kids with autism or Down syndrome or Williams syndrome. Let's look at them in and of themselves. And so Terry was the first, to my knowledge, there might be someone that I don't want to offend, but to really use that Huttenlocher notion of why is it that kids have less gray matter than grown-ups? More gray matter. Yeah, grown-ups have, kids have more gray matter than grown-ups. And so just this notion that it's about something going on that's rewiring. It's not a degenerative thing, but this is, I think the first to really show that something's going on in there. It's not all over by the time you're done. So with that, I'm honored to introduce Dr. Terry Drew.